Fist plus Breach. Very smart actually.
Greetings, Exile. As you've seen, the clear and bossing power of this build has skyrocketed since the last leveling update. It's tankier, hits harder, and the awkward playstyle is gone, and we haven't even invested a single divine yet, with every gear piece capped at just a max of 10 exalts. In this video, I'll break down the major changes that made it possible. So, let's get started. You guys might have noticed I'm now using a two-handed mace in my main hand and a shield in my offhand, which means no more weapon swapping. We get both offense and defense at the same time. This is possible thanks to Giant's Blood, which lets us wield a two-handed mace with a shield, but in return, it triples the attribute requirements of our weapons. That means we need a lot of strength, and getting that much can be tricky. Though there are a couple of ways to make it easier. One option is to use a weapon with reduced attribute requirements, which lowers the base strength needed. Another option is using the soul core of Citaqualotl, which converts part of the strength requirement into dexterity, lowering the total strength needed. For starting out, I recommend an Anvil Mauler's base, since it has the lowest strength requirement with decent base damage. Look for one with as much physical damage as possible and at least 25% reduced attribute requirement. Now that we can wield a shield in the offhand, we can finally get rid of the awkward playstyle of using shield charge just to prime enemies for bone shatter. Instead, we automate the priming by adding Wind Dancer tech to the build. So what's Wind Dancer? It's a persistent buff that occasionally gains charges. Whenever you get hit, whether by an attack or a spell, those charges release a shockwave around you. This shockwave automatically primes nearby enemies for stun, making it much easier to use Bone Shatter. To make sure the wave only primes enemies without heavy stunning or killing them, we add Brink 2 and Stun 3 support. Brink 2 prevents heavy stuns, and Stun 3 lowers the damage of the wave so the bleed it causes isn't strong enough to kill enemies. This way, enemies stay primed and ready to be smacked with Bone Shatter. Since we're making all these improvements, I've also made big changes to our bossing. The old awkward playstyle of using Mace Strike and Shield Charge is gone. Now, Rolling Slam takes over as our main skill for priming bosses, thanks to its high inherent stun build-up and strong synergy with supports like Aftershock 2, Brink 2, and Stun 2. With this change, our bossing combo for maximum damage output looks like this. We start by applying Bloodhound's Mark on the boss. Then we use Rolling Slam until they're primed for a heavy stun. Once they are primed, we smack them with Bone Shatter. After that, we use Seismic Cry to boost our next slam. Then we drop Hammer of the Gods, and while it's falling, we use Rolling Slam again. When the hammer lands, we use Mace Strike to aggravate the bleed and build up rage. Finally, we reapply Bloodhound's Mark to convert all that bleed damage into stun build-up. Next, let's talk about the third and fourth Ascendancy nodes and why we take them. For the third Ascendancy, we take Mysterious Lineage, which gives 15% more maximum life. This is much needed to push the build to at least 3000 life. You can comfortably attempt the third trial at around level 86. For the fourth Ascendancy, we take Earthbreaker, which gives 25% increased aftershock chance for all our slams. This lets us double our slam damage most of the time. I recommend attempting the fourth trial at level 90, but if you're confident, you can do it earlier. And don't worry about doing your fourth trial in Sakima's now. With the new changes to block and active block, you can block all attacks and spells without losing any resolve. Lastly, let's go over a few minor changes I made to the build. I added the venopuncture ring, the only unique we use in this build, since the bleed chance and magnitude it gives saves us a lot of skill points. I have also added 2 rare ruby jewels with bleed and block chance to save even more points. I invested a bit into the new modifier that makes a percentage of armor apply to elemental damage, and I'll be adding more of this as I upgrade my gear. Finally, I added a temporary anoint on the amulet for the shockwaves node to increase area of effect. This is all I have to share for the budget version of the build. If you'd like more details, make sure to check out my Mobilytics guide and the POB. I will leave a link to them in the video description below. Before we wrap things up, let me go over my future plans for the build. The first priority will be upgrading the weapon. I've been experimenting with the new omens, and from what I've seen, it looks very possible to craft a strong weapon without draining all of our currency. I'm also exploring jewel options, particularly the From Nothing diamond jewel. The Veil-packed version of it would be ideal, though its price has skyrocketed overnight, so I'll be looking into other variations as well. On top of that, I plan to revamp the skill tree quite heavily to squeeze as much efficiency as possible out of our points, along with a handful of other smaller improvements. The next update I release will cover the finalized version of the build. It might take some time to get there since I'll need to craft level and thoroughly test different setups, but I'll keep you updated as things progress. In the meantime, if you'd like to follow along, you can catch me live on Twitch or join our Discord server, where I'll be posting all updates as they happen. If you enjoy these kinds of off-meta builds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and bonk that notification bell until it ruptures. As always, thanks for watching, Exile.